Cantemos, cantemos todos, Cristo de paz y alegría. Vivemos, siempre vivemos a vuestra
of the Great Barrington Select Board, Lee Davis.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, distinguished guests, good morning. Today on Memorial Day, we gather as a community to remember and honor the heroes who gave their lives in service to our nation. It's a day of solemn reflection, but also one of unity and strength as we stand shoulder to shoulder honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice. This day is very personal for me. My father, a Black Korean War veteran, served with the 6th Armored Division at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. As a sergeant major, he led the base's first racial integration program and oversaw 5 companies. Some of the men he trained fought overseas and never returned. Though he never spoke about the war, his sense of duty and loss stayed with him. As a child, I remember my father putting on his garrison cap every morning before work. At the time, I thought it was an odd quirk. Now, I understand it was a symbol of his unwavering commitment to his country and fellow soldiers. Though my father has passed on, his quiet strength and dedication to service inspire me every day. I am also proud of my daughter, a recent Monument Mountain graduate and cadet at the U.S. Air Force Academy. Her dedication to serving our country continues our family's legacy and inspires hope for the next generation. As we look around our community, we see the legacy of brave men and brave women who made the ultimate sacrifice. Let us take a moment to remember and honor these heroes. Whether they fell on distant battlefields or here at home, their spirit endures. Their sacrifice reminds us of the cost of freedom and the price of peace. Let us commit to working for peace, supporting our wounded and disabled veterans, and ensuring that no service member is ever forgotten. To the families who has lost loved ones, we honor their memory with profound gratitude. To the veterans here today, we owe you an immeasurable debt for your service. As we gather with our families and friends this Memorial Day, let us come together in remembrance and commitment to the values our heroes fought to protect. May we strive every day to build a community, a country, and a world that is worthy of their sacrifice. God bless our heroes, and God bless America.
Thank you, Lee Davis. Our next guest speaker is Chief Petty Officer Charles Flynn.
Actually, it's Lieutenant Commander Charles Flynn. But I did work my way up through the ranks. One thing I do want to say is that on August 31st, this summer, my son Patrick, Lieutenant Colonel, Airborne Ranger, will retire from the United States Army, having served 4 combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. It'll be 30 years to the day from the day I retired from the Navy. Today is the single most expensive holiday that we celebrate. Every hot dog, every burger, every spin around the lake, or drink with friends and family is a debt purchased by others. This one is in honor of those who paid in life and blood, whose moms never saw them again, whose dads wept in private, whose wives raised their children alone, and whose kids only remember them from pictures, stories, and letters. This isn't simply a day off. This is a day to remember that others paid for every free breath that you ever get to take. This is a day we honor the men and women who served and made the ultimate sacrifice to us. I just want to end my speech. I have 2 poems that I want to recite to you. One concerns those who served on the ground, and the other one concerns those who served at sea and never came home. In Flanders Field, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders Field. The second poem honors our sailors and Marines who died at sea or died during the war. In ocean wastes no poppies blow. No crosses stand in ordered row. There young hearts sleep beneath the wave, the spirited, the good, the brave. But stars a constant vigil keep for them who lie beneath the deep. 'Tis true you cannot kneel in prayer on certain spot and think he's there, but you can to the ocean go, see whitecaps marching row on row. No one for them will always ride in and out with every tide. And when your span of life is past, he'll meet you at the captain's mast. And they who mourn on distant shore, for sailors who'll come home no more, can dry their tears and pray for these who rest beneath the heaving seas. For stars that shine and winds that blow, and whitecaps marching row on row. And they can never lonely be, for when they lived, they chose the sea. Thank you.
It's like the elements of it, right? A little bit of a technical error. Oops. Now, thank you, though. Okay, do it.
I'd now like to introduce Dee Foster singing God Bless the USA.
Okay. Well, maybe. Okay.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I've worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today. Sorry, but the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
I don't know if I can bring the mic. Now we're to present the veterans that have died in the past year. They're presented by Lieutenant Colonel John Berbisky and Captain Ray Murray.
Many years ago, when I was down in Atlanta, Georgia, stationed in Forces Command, I had the honor of seeing Lee Greenwood perform in person. And we also had the President of the United States, who was late getting to the ceremony because he was too busy stopping to talk with Little Richard. But that was a real amazing patriotic ceremony they had. Now the war dead. William P. Clark, 81 of Sheffield, passed away on July 2nd, 2023 at BMC. Bill was born in Sheffield on October 28, 1941. After he graduated from Mount Everett High School, he proudly served his country in the U.S. Army as a military policeman in Vietnam. He served served in the Army from December 4th, 1963 to December 3rd, 1965. Gary S. Driscoll, 70. Gary S. Driscoll, 70, was born in Great Barrington on October 10, 1952. He passed away peacefully at home in Jacksonville, Florida on June 2, 2023. A graduate of Mount Everett Regional High School, he enlisted in the Marines and was based at Camp Lejeune. He was a sharpshooter and a machine gunner. He graduated from Parris Island, South Carolina, made Lance Corporal, and was honorably discharged on May 4, 1978. Paul J. Hazard, 55, born February 20, 1969, passed away unexpectedly at home on Friday, March 15, 2024. He was an 87 graduate of Monument Mountain Regional High School. After high school, Paul enlisted in the Navy for 6 years, serving on the USS Mount Whitney. He was a Gulf War veteran. He was survived by his mother and many other relatives.
David Eugene Herrick, 84, of Mill River, passed away peacefully at BMC on Sunday, August 27, 2023, with his wife by his side. He owned the Mill River store. After some time in post-high school studies, he served in the U.S. Air Force. Upon discharge, he worked for Chicago Aerial Institute and flew reconnaissance in Vietnam. Stanley R. Kleiner, 78, of Pittsfield, died at BMC from Alzheimer's disease. Born in Adams on April 19, 1945, raised in Glendale where he attended grammar school. He was a 1963 graduate of Williams High School. He was a member of the U.S. Army Reserves from 1965 to 71 and was discharged with the rank of sergeant. He was a member of the Murphy-Leary American Legion Post 298 in Housatonic. He was married to Sandy Jennings Kleiner in Corpus Christi Church on October 5, 1968, and made their home in West Stockbridge for 45 years. John W. Cordy Jr., West Stockbridge, died peacefully April 3, 2024, at home surrounded by his loving family. A veteran of World War II, he served in the Army from January 1944 to March 1946. He served with the 45th Division in Germany and southern France. He was wounded 2 days after his 19th birthday and had to recuperate for 5 months at a hospital in France. He received a Purple Heart, a Combat Infantryman's Badge, and many other medals. He was an active member of the American Legion in West Stockbridge. Richard Ritt Lewison, 89, former selectman of the town of Great Barrington, died Friday, October 6th in 2023. Surrounded by his loving family, lifelong resident of Housatonic, he was born April 1st, 1934, at home. A 1953 graduate of Searles High School, he served in the U.S. Army for 2 years. He married his wife, the former Barbara Majeski, on December 27, 1958, at All Saints Church. A little bit of wind up here. He worked for many years at the Barrington Electric Company and at the Berkshire Hills Regional School District for 24 years.
Walter J. Walt North, 78, of Sheffield, died Saturday, August 5th, 2023, at home with family by his side. Walt was born April 12, 1945. A 1964 graduate of Mount Everett Regional High School. After graduation, he worked for B&D. In 1965, he was drafted into the U.S. Army. After his military service, he went to work for Meade Corporation in Lee for the next 13 years. For many years, Walt served as a special police officer in many towns in South Berkshire. He leaves behind his wife of 57 years, Sharon Bragdon Norris, and 3 daughters. Dennis Robert O'Connor, Sr., 85, of Great Barrington, died Sunday, August 13, 2023, at Kimball Farms in Lenox. Born on November 4, 1937, in Mount Vernon, New York, he graduated from Stepanek High School in White Plains. After graduation, Dennis proudly served his country in the U.S. Army, stationed in Germany. Dennis worked in various positions in the post office in Great Barrington for 35 years. Peter Buscemi, 96 of Sheffield, died Sunday, February 25th, 2024, at home, surrounded by his loving family. Born on April 4th, 1927, and a graduate of Sheffield High School, he proudly served his country in the U.S. Army. He was a member of the James A. Madolo VFW Post 8348. He was a dairy farmer by trade. He was predeceased by his wife, but left behind many relatives.
James Otto Souls, 93, died October 29, 2023 at Fairview Hospital. He was born in Lee on January 27, 1930 and educated in Monterey schools. James proudly served his country in the U.S. Army during the Korean War. He is survived by his 2 sons, his wife, and many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Everett Archer Van Doren, 89, a former resident of Housatonic. He was born in New York City in 1935 and passed away on March 3, 2024. He served in the Navy as a lieutenant junior grade from 1958 until 1960 as a security officer. He was an only child and had no living relatives, but was loved by all in Housatonic. Paul Stubb Joseph Viola, formerly of Lenox, passed away on February 23rd in South Daytona, Florida. He was born in West Stockbridge on July 11, 1947. Promoted to Air Force Sergeant and later Reservist Technical Sergeant, Paul trained at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas before serving at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. After moving to Lennoxdale with his family, Paul worked for 17 years at the Lee and Lennoxdale Mills of Kimberly-Clark. One of his favorite activities was to hang out with friends at Troy's Garage in West Stockbridge. He's survived by his 5 children and 8 grandchildren and former wife. Achilles Joseph Zanetti, 96. We've got enough wind here to blow away the stand. I guess we've got it. Yep. He passed away peacefully on July 2nd, 2023 at Kimball Farms in Lenox. Known as Sonny, he was born November 18th, 1926 in Great Barrington. He was predeceased by his wife, Helen Fulco Zanetti. At 17, Sonny enlisted in the U.S. Navy and was stationed on the J.H. McCrae AP-149 in the European and Asiatic theaters. He earned many campaign medals and other decorations. Returning from the service, he finished his high school education at Cyril's in 1947. He worked for 21 years for Nuclear Components in Great Barrington and later at the Hotchkiss School in Lakeville, Connecticut. He was a life member of the James A. Madolo VFW Post 8348, a life member and commander of the Great Barrington American Legion Post 127, and later a member of the Murphy Leary American Legion Post 298 in Housatonic. And we owe an apology to the Gabriel family this morning in Housatonic. We did not have the information on this individual, who is the father of our selectman, Eric Gabriel. Anthony R. Gabriel was born August 24th, 1929. He was 93 years old when he passed away. And he's surrounded by his 6 sons and his 2 daughters on June 30th, 2023. He was a veteran of the Korean War and was in the Army in the Artillery Division.
Wreath bearers, please place the wreaths. Adam, place the wreath. We'll now have the chaplain will say a prayer.
A Memorial Day prayer. Okay, we'll start again. The memorial prayer. May the Lord our God bless all present here to memorize those who died to preserve the liberty and freedom of our nation and in the world. And may the Lord our God remember all those whose sacrifice gave us this nation its greatness, progress, and richness. May our memory of them be an honorable one, full of thanksgiving to the Lord who accepted them into his kingdom. The Lord is for all, and in him we believe, and to him we pray to remember all who died in the service of their country, whether in the air, on the land, or in the sea. O Lord, be gracious and merciful unto them, and let your light shine upon them, for you are our God, and unto you we ascribe glory, now and forever. Amen.
Officer of the day, take charge. At ease. In closing, I would like to give thanks to the Great Barrington Select Board, Great Barrington Fire Department, Great Barrington Police Department, James A. Madolo, Post VFW Post 8348, Great Barrington, Commander Stephen Blackwell, Adams Buds, VFW Post 8183, Housatonic, Commander Michael Casey, and incoming Commander James Bailey. American Legion Post 298, John Kawaka, Commander. Also, anyone that participated in the parade or an organization. Last but not least, the planning and organizing of the parade. That concludes our ceremony.